So hi everyone, and welcome to this Book of Joshua Bible studies today. In today's video we're going to be focusing on Joshua chapter 16, Joshua chapter 17 and Joshua chapter 18. Okay, and in today's Bible study video we're going to continue with our theme of through the Bible in a year, where we're going to be continuing to focus on the land allocation to the 12 tribes of Israel. In today's video we're going to focus on Joseph's allocation, we're going to focus on Benjamin's allocation, and within the midst of our Bible study video today we're going to get a huge gathering of all the tribes together in Shiloh for one specific reason. Okay, that's really going to be interesting as well. Another thing we're going to talk about is at some point in the video later on, I'm actually going to talk about how we're actually going to be giving away. Okay, we've got one of these copies here. We're going to be shipping this out to one potential viewer today. Okay, no fees on your part, no printing fees, no shipping fees, nothing. Okay, completely on us. We're going to be giving away one copy of this book, so stay around to the end of the video so you can find out how you can actually get your copy. Okay, all right. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Israel from here at In That Word, and our main goal is to basically encourage you to jump back into the scriptures, and one of the ways we do that is through the Bible study. Now we do other videos just promoting and encouraging about the scriptures, but if you want to continue to get these kind of videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button below this video in order for you to get notifications, and make sure you hit the bell so you get instant notifications of when we actually produce our videos. All right, so getting to today's Bible study video, like I said, we're going to be continuing with our land allocation, and it's a really short piece of text to cover today, but it's important you understand the things we're talking about specifically in regards to which tribe we're talking about and actually which allocation. All right, so let's get started, starting at Joshua chapter 16 and verse 1. This is day 74 of Through the Bible in 1 year. So we read verse 1. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east, to the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and passeth along unto the borders of Archi to Ataroth. Verse 3. And goeth down westward to the coast of Japhleti, unto the coast of Bethhoron, the Nephah, and to Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. Okay, so for those of you who might be a bit confused, thinking to yourself, okay, didn't we focus on the tribe of Joseph before? Yes and no. And what I mean by that is, one thing you have to remember is, on the other side of the Jordan, half of the tribe of Manasseh was given and land allocation. So what we're reading about going forward when you hear about Joseph are the rest of the tribe of Manasseh, and obviously the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, that makes up the tribe of Joseph, so to speak, as well. So if you're getting a bit confused, have we done this before? No, just go back and watch our previous videos, but also focus along on what we're talking about here, so you know that there's a difference in regards to allocation on one side and the other side of the Jordan. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 4. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. 5. And the border of the children of Ephraim according to their families was, even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Ataroth Adar unto Bethhoron the upper. 6. And the border went out toward the sea to Michmaphah on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Taanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east to Janohah. 7. And it went down from Janohah to Ataroth and to Naarath, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went out from Tappuah westward unto the river Kanah, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their families, and the separate cities for the children of Ephraim among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages, and they drave out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer. Listen to this. But the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites unto this day, and serve under tribute. Okay, so we're going to hear this from time to time, and we've already heard it in our previous videos in the book of Joshua when we covered land allocation. Okay, the Lord specifically told them before they went in to not make any deals with anyone. We've seen how they fumbled there. Okay, in our previous Joshua videos, I'll post it in the cards. Okay, so you can actually see it. We've read about how they haven't driven out all of the inhabitants of these particular lands, and they're dwelling with them. Okay, that's another thing that they did, and we'll see that continuously through. Now this was a short piece of text, really just breaking down part of the tribe of Joseph. We're going to continue, okay, and we're going to read more in 17 about Joseph's particular tribes and the daughters of Zelophehad, okay, famous people, or famous sort of story that we've picked up time and time again. That's going to come up again as well. So let's listen to what we see next, okay. 17 verse 1. There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he the firstborn of Joseph, for Machir the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. Okay, so we've read about Ephraim. What we're reading here is saying there was also a lot for Manasseh. Obviously, remember, half of the tribe of Manasseh is already inherited. This is basically for the rest of the Manasseites. Okay, and look what it says. Verse 2, there was also for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Azrael, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. So if my number sounds correct me, that's 5 sons, okay? And look what it says, verse 3. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons but daughters, and these the names of his daughters. Okay, now we're going to talk about the daughters of Zelophehad: Mahlah and Noah and Hoglah, Milcah and Tirzah. Okay, so that's 5. And we're going to read about these daughters specifically, but these particular daughters have come up time and time again. I wrote a couple of places down. We read about them in Numbers 26 and Numbers 27, and we also came back up again in Numbers 36. Okay, and now obviously just post some videos in the card as well for you to go back if you want to watch it. But as I said already here in Numbers, we covered how Zelophehad had no sons but he had daughters. Okay, and when it comes to land allocation, at one point they came to Moses and said, hold on, this guy doesn't have any sons, he only has daughters, but if these daughters marry different tribes, then this particular land allocation is going to be given to someone else. And God came back and said to Moses, you know what they're saying is right. Give them a portion of inheritance, okay? But say to them they can only marry within their tribe, so their land doesn't get given to another tribe, okay? And look what they're saying here. This is obviously now the land allocation. So God's command is now coming to fruition. Verse 4, and they came near before Eleazar, okay, the daughters of Zelophehad, the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, the Lord commanded, okay, talking about Numbers 27, Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them inheritance among the brethren of their father. Okay, because obviously, I believe it's Numbers 36, it talks about how they went on to marry within their tribe, okay, which is obviously the tribe of Joseph. 5, and there fell 10 portions to Manasseh beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which on the other side Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance, okay, among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethah, that before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of En Tappuah. Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh, to the children of Ephraim, and the coast descended unto the river Cana, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh, the coast of Manasseh also on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Southward Ephraim's and northward Manasseh's, okay? And the sea is his border, and they met together in Asher on the north and in Issachar on the east. So just to simplify this for you, the scripture is basically saying here in those last couple of verses that the land of Manasseh and Ephraim was basically next to each other, okay? And there was a river that kind of divided, so to speak, Ephraim and Manasseh, okay? So they're dwelling next to each other. Verse 11, and Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Bethshean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Taanach and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns. 3 countries, Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out those cities, but the Canaanites will dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass when the children of Israel were waxen strong that they put the Canaanites to tribute. Notice this, but did not utterly drive them out. Okay, so again, we're hearing this. What they basically did a lot of the time, we saw this with Gibeon, okay, early in the book of Joshua. The only difference in that situation was they basically got tricked. They didn't seek the Lord. And you can go back to watch our previous Joshua videos. I might put in the cards in the description below. And their substitution for not destroying the people of Gibeon was, we'll just make you servants, okay? Well, what we continue to see is if they don't drive them out, the scripture talks about they put them under tribute, okay? So obviously, you can kind of see that as what we might call a tax today or a levy, okay? And that's what they did instead of driving them out. So look what it says. 14, and the children of Joseph spake unto Joshua, saying, Why hast thou given me one lot and one portion to inherit, seeing I am a great people, for as much as the Lord hath blessed me hitherto? So the children of Joseph come to Joshua and say, look, we basically want more land, we need more land. And look what Joshua says, 15, and Joshua answered them, If thou a great people, get thee up to the wood, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants in Mount Ephraim, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, who of Bethshean and her towns, and who of the valley of Jezreel. So the tribe of Joseph comes to Joshua and says, look, why have you given us this small land? Give us more land. Joshua says, no, look, go to the hill place, okay, cut down woods and basically take that territory as well. That's in your location. And they basically turn around and say, well, we can't take that land. It's not big enough for us. And obviously there's giants dwelling in that area as well. Look what Joshua says, 17. And Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people and hast great power. Thou shalt not have one lot. Okay, so he says, okay. 18. But the mountain shall be thine, for it a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the outgoings of it shall be thine. For thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, though they strong. So Joshua says, look, that place you're talking about, that will be yours, but you're going to actually drive them out. So he's basically just encouraging them and telling them, look, you are big and strong and great, and you can actually take these people out, but you have to obviously go and do it. Okay, it's really one of those things where you're thinking about this and you're saying it to yourself, okay, talk is cheap, okay? That's why Joshua was going out of his way to say, look, you're going to be able to take this place. But if they don't ever actually go and do it, then obviously they're never actually going to be able to inherit that particular portion to actually expand their growth, okay, their area. So last chapter in today's Bible study video, like I said, it's a short text. And obviously remember again, okay, we're going to be talking about how one person watching this video is going to be able to get a free copy shipped out to you wherever you are in the world. Okay, so just look out for that after we cover this chapter. Alright, so chapter 18 reads, And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh, and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. Okay, so really insightful piece of text here, really interesting. Firstly, what did we realize? We've seen that the whole congregation of the children of Israel, so all the tribes have come together. Secondly, something we haven't heard for a little while, the tabernacle of the congregation was set up. Okay. 2. And there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes which had not yet received their inheritance. So think about this. We've obviously we've covered Gad and Reuben, okay, on the other side of the Jordan. We've covered half of the tribe of Manasseh. In today's Bible study video, in the book of Joshua Bible study, we've covered more of Manasseh. We've covered Ephraim, and we've covered Judah, okay, which was in the immediate previous Bible study video to this, okay. So we've covered 5 particular tribes, so to speak, okay, and there's 7 left. Now, look what Joshua says, verse 3, And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, How long ye slack to go to possess the land, which the Lord God of your fathers have given you? For Give out from among you 3 men for tribe, and I will send them, and they shall rise and go through the land and describe it according to the inheritance of them, and they shall come to me. So Joshua says, look, 3 men from each tribe. Okay, so 3 times 12, 12 tribes, 36. So he's sending out 36 men to spy the land. Okay, and we all know what happened the last time they went to spy the land. If you want to know about that, go back to Numbers 11, if I remember correctly. I'll post a video in the cards, so you can obviously go and watch it and see what happened for those if you don't know. But let's continue and see what actually happens and what the rest of what Joshua wants to say. Verse 5, and they shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah shall abide in their coast on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their coast on the north. So that's 3 tribes. Judah, Joseph, okay, broken up into Manasseh and Ephraim. 6, ye shall therefore describe the land 7 parts, and bring hither to me, that I may cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. 7, but the Levites have no part among you, for the priesthood of the Lord their inheritance. And Gad and Reuben and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond Jordan on the east, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. 8, and the men arose and went away, and Joshua charged them that went to describe the land, saying, go and walk through the land and describe it, and come again to me, that I may here cast lots for you before the Lord in Shiloh. Okay, so he sent them off, said, look, go do your discovery, write it all down, come back and tell me, so then I can cast lots and basically apportion a particular land to the 7 remaining tribes. Verse 9, and the men went and passed through the land and described it by cities into 7 parts in the book, and came to Joshua to the host at Shiloh. 10, and Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions. Now we're going to wrap up today's Bible study video talking about the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, this was the first out of the 7 that lots were cast for that came out. Look what it says, verse 11, and the lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the coast of their lot came from between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Okay, 12, and their border on the north side was from Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north side, and went up through the mountains westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Bethaven. 13, and the border went over from thence toward Luz, to the side of Luz, which befell, okay, southward, and the border descended to Ataroth Adar, near the hill that on the south side of the Nephah, Bephoron. 14, and the border was drawn and compassed the corner of the sea southward from the hill that before Bephoron, southward, and the goings out thereof were at Kirjath Baal, which Kirjath-jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This the west quarter. 15, and the south quarter from the end of Kirjath-jearim, and the border went out on the west, and went out to the well of the waters of Nephtoah. So obviously, the simple way to understand this is one of the earlier verses where it talks about, look, Benjamin's allocation is between Judah and Joseph. Okay, so we're basically just getting details into these particular cities. Now again, I said this in the previous video, I'll say it again, I'm not expecting you to understand all of these places, names and all that kind of stuff, especially if this is the first time you're going through it. But some of these names should be standing out, okay, because some of these places, well, all of these places, but some of these places should be more familiar to you. For example, places like Luz/Bethel. Okay, we've read about that a lot in Genesis. In regards to Abraham, Jacob, all of that kind of stuff, that should stand out to you. We've heard about Kirjath-jearim a couple of times already. Those kind of places should stand out to you. But for those of you who are newer to this, it's not necessarily about always going into the advanced stuff, but again, just focus on 1 or 2 places that stand out and just do a little brief study. Okay, even just going back from Genesis up until this point, what have you heard about Luz? What have you heard about Bethel? And taking that information into what we're hearing about now, that this is the land allocation for Benjamin, it's a great thing for you to do. 16, and the border came down to the end of the mountain that before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which in the valley of the giants on the north, and descended to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of Jebusi on the south, and descended to Enrogel. 17. And was drawn from the north, and went forth to Enshemesh, and went forth toward Gililoth, which over against the going up of Adumim, and descended to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben, and passed along toward the side over against Arabah northward, and went down unto Arabah. 19. And the border passed along to the side of Beth Hoglah northward, and the outgoings of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of Jordan, this the south coast. 20. And Jordan was the border of it on the east side, this the inheritance of the children of Benjamin by the coast thereof round about, according to their families. 21. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, and Beth Hoglah, and the valley of Keziz. 22. And Beth Arabah, and Zemaraim, and Bethel, and Avim, and Para, and Ophrah, and Chephah Hayim Moni. Okay, let me read that again. 24. And Chephah Hayim Moni, and Ophni, and Gabak, 12 cities with their villages. 25. Gibeon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpah, and Chephirah, and Moza, and Rekim, and Erpil, and Tarala, and Zelah, Eleph, and Jebusi, which Jerusalem. Okay, Jerusalem should stand out to you. Melchizedek, etc. Gibeath, Kirjath, 14 cities with their villages. This the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, according to their families. So that wraps up the text today. We ended talking about the specific allocation, land allocation, to the winner of the first drawn lot, so to speak, which was Benjamin. Okay, and that was basically situated between Judah and Joseph. Now, one of the things that I wanted to bring up, just to wrap up the video before we get into all this stuff, and remember again, I said we're going to be giving away one of these books to one viewer today. Okay, now one thing that might come up is why is it just these 7 particular places, the 7 tribes basically? Why are they casting lots now? And one thing which I'd say is food for thought, is interesting, is bear in mind, okay, and I've kind of highlighted the first 5. Reuben and Gad decided to take land allocation on the other side. Okay, so they didn't need to draw lots. They just decided, okay, we've got much cattle. This is a land for much cattle. We'll take this place, and half of the tribe of Manasseh did that as well. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing you need to understand is the daughters of Zelophehad. And I mentioned it at the time, they come up time and time again. Numbers 26, Numbers 27, Numbers 36. We're hearing them again and back. We've heard about them again in Joshua a couple of times. But they were to be given specific land. So I think it only made sense that Manasseh's on one side, and the other side you've got Manasseh and Ephraim as well. Specifically in regards to the whole daughters of Zelophehad, that whole situation. Another thing as well in regards to Judah, why did Judah get their specific allocation? Remember again, and I talked about this at the time in the previous video, Caleb, okay? God has said to Caleb, look, this place that you've trodden on, I'm going to give you as an inheritance because you were faithful, okay? So that specifically might be the reason why they were given specific allocation first, and obviously the rest of the 7 tribes, now they're going to be given based on by lot basically on where they're actually going to dwell. Alright, so that was just a bit of food for thought. But again, comment below below the video, excuse me, why you think that was the case. Now to wrap up today's video, like I said at the beginning of today's video, we're going to be giving away 1 copy of Walk in the Spirit, this book, okay? And you might wonder, okay, look, I've watched the whole video, I've stayed to the end, etc. How do I get this free book? Now, normally what happens when we give this book away, because we normally give it away for free anyway, what you'd have to do is go to howtowalkinthespirit.com, and all you'd have to do is pay a couple of dollars to get this printed and shipped out to you. But obviously I had this copy of here, and I said, you know what, it'd be nice to just give this book to someone. So in order for you to qualify to get this book, there's a couple of things you have to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to like this video, okay? So click the thumbs up below this video. That's the first thing. Number 2, subscribe to the channel just below. Hit the bell notification, okay? And the third thing you have to do is leave a comment below this video on anything you like, okay, in regards to this video. Something you like, something you didn't like, something you think stood out to you in the chapter. And if you do those 3 things, okay, I'm going to be picking one of you who does those 3 things, and we're going to literally be contacting you and shipping this book out to you, no fees at all. We're never going to ask you to pay the couple of dollars to ship it out to you and to get it printed. We're just going to ask for your address, okay, in private messenger or whatever, and then we'll get it shipped out to you on us, okay, just for taking part. So just to wrap up, if you want to get this copy of, if you want to at least qualify to get this copy, 3 things you need to do: like the video below the video, subscribe to the video, and hit the bell notification. And third and final thing is, leave a comment below this video about anything related to this video, and we'll be picking out someone pretty soon, and you'll get this over the next couple of days. As always, thanks for joining us on today's Bible study video of the Book of Joshua Bible study, and look out for new videos from us in the future. Thanks and take care.